Hello everyone and welcome to another champion guide. Together with TechyFIEND, a diamond support main, we will be talking about Thresh. Let's get into it. I will be covering skill explanation, items and runes. As for matchup synergies and playstyle, our resident Thresh main will take over. Skills. Passive, Damnation. Thresh collects souls from dead enemies, champions and large monsters. Souls of an epic monster is twice as powerful, permanently granting him armor and ability power. Note, Thresh does not have scaling armor level because of this. Q. Death Sentence. Thresh throws his sight, dealing magic damage, granting true sight, and stunning first unit it hits, pulling them for 1.5 seconds. From what I have played Thresh, it displaces the champion twice if you let the Q run its course. Reactivating this ability would take Thresh to the hooked target. Every time you land a hook, including on minions, cooldown is reduced by 3 seconds. W. Dark Passage. Thresh throws the lantern to a targeted location. If an ally clicks on it, Thresh will pull both the lantern and his ally to him. This skill also grants a shield that lasts 4 seconds. Thresh and only one of his allies can benefit from this shield. This scales with souls collected. E. Flay. Passive. Thresh's basic attacks deal additional magic damage, which builds up while not attacking. Active. Deals magic damage in a line beginning behind Thresh. Enemies hit are pushed in the direction of the swing, then slowed for 1 second. Cast forward to push, cast backward to pull. R. The Box. Thresh creates a prison with 4 walls. Breaking the walls slows you by 99% for 2 seconds and deals a fairly surprising amount of damage early on. An enemy cannot be affected by multiple walls simultaneously. Combos, tips, and tricks. Animation masking. Flay animation can mask your Q1, but you have to Q, then flay. Whenever you Q, you can also use your ult and or flay without cancelling your hook animation. Combos. Standard 1. Hit Q, take Q, flay towards your main damage source for the kill, throw in an ult if you're level 6. Other combos. Hit Q, wait for 2 displacings, and take Q last second, then flay, or leave the Q to displace for 1.5 seconds and then just layer CC with flay. Another combo. Start with flay into hook, makes the Q land easier. You can increase your flay range by flaying as you take the hook. If enemies dive the backline in a team fight, ult, then everything else would be super easy to land. The Lantern highlight play. Land your hook, flash, lantern, take hook, flay. Tips. Both your Q and E interrupt dashes. It is easier to do it with flay. Your hook has a little bit more range right at the tip, like an arrow skill shot. That's why people get surprised by the range of the hook. Whenever you are looking for a Q, make sure you turn your back before casting the hook animation. Makes your intentions very hard to read. Use lantern to reposition your carries as well as bring them in whenever you pick someone off with a good Q. Another good use of this skill is abusing the shield early game in trades. In my opinion, if you manage to use this for both repositioning and shield abusing, you are doing it right. Items. So before anything, I will say this. I have not seen a relic shield Thresh since the last item nerfs. Not saying it's bad, just I think it isn't worth unless you're a god at securing minions. Also, here's my opinion about building Knight's Vow. Don't autopilot this item. Thing is, Thresh is a semi-ranged champion, meaning you will never get the full passive of this item, just 50% because of this. So basically you're investing 2.2k gold and getting only half of your money's worth. Sometimes though, it is good to build this whenever you're thinking to go a more tank-oriented Thresh. But think well before you purchase it. Support money matters. Alright, so that has been said. Let's talk about item builds. Start off with Ancient Coin and 2 potions. Make sure your first back is upgraded support item, control word, and boots, tier 1 or Mobies if possible. After completing mobility boots, make sure you work towards your Zeki's convergence, redemption, upgrade your support item to 4 wards, and then Righteous Glory or Locket, depending on what you need in that particular game. For the very last item, and I'm referring to past 40 minutes here, a good tank one is going to be great, allowing you to survive extended late game teamfights. Runes. There are 2 main rune pages for Thresh. 1. Resolve. Guardian, Font of Life, Bone Plating, Overgrowth or Unflinching. Secondary Inspiration with Biscuit Delivery and Cosmic Insight. This is a more hands-off rune page whenever you're planning to just sit and chill in laning phase. 2. Resolve. Aftershock, Font of Life, or Demolish, depending what you want to do in the particular matchup you're having. Bomb plating, overgrowth, or unflinching. Secondary, precision, with Triumph and Legend tenacity. For Aftershock pages, you can also go inspiration, where you choose 2 out of these 3. Stopwatch, Biscuits, or Cosmic Insight. For the 3 mini runes, we will always run Scaling CDR and Double Defensive, Armor, and Magic Resist.
Hey guys, my name is Techie and I'm currently a Diamond Thresh. So let's talk about Thresh's matchups. Thresh has some good matchups, like Enchanters, like Nami, Sona, Soraka, Janna, Lulu, Karma, Yuumi, and Bard. If you land a hook on any of these, then most likely you can 100 to 0 them, as they are very squishy. Thresh also does well into mages, like Lux, Zyra, Fiddle, Vel'Koz, Xerath, and Zillion. You can 100-0 any of these forwards, just like Enchanters. Just make sure you don't get poked out and play aggressive, as one hook can mean you can burst them down. Bad matchups. Rakan is extremely hard to predict because of his W and mobility. Morgana presses E and disables your champion. You can put 3 points in play and break her E with an auto attack. Galio is a more sketchy matchup for Thresh because of his W and E. Also try to CC him if you see him ult. Leona is a hard matchup because she can easily buffer her E and her all-in potential is a lot more threatening than yours. Make sure you take a more reactive stance against the Leona. Tom Kent simply ruins Thresh's entire playstyle, as the enemy AD is always safe and as he can devour them if you land a hook or any CC. If you focus the Tom Kent in this matchup, then it turns into more of an even lane. Nautilus is a hard matchup because of his CC he provides, especially level 6. Make sure you play reactively against him. Poppy is a semi counter to Thresh, as she can stop you reactivating your hook because it's counted as a dash in her W. You can flay her out of her dash, however this is very difficult due to how fast the animation is. Alright, let's talk about Thresh's synergies with the ADC role. Thresh synergizes very well with Vayne due to the repositioning you can give her with W, allowing for some montage worthy plays. Draven and Xayah work very well, as every hook in lane should result in a kill due to their early damage. Kalista works well, as level 6 makes you and her become very unkillable due to your W and her ultimate. Varus, Kai'Sa, Jhin, Sivir, Kate, Trist, and Lucian synergize very well, as they often get lane prior for you, which gives you more chance to land hook and make plays. Jinx and Ashe are okay, as you give them a lot of peel, however they are super immobile, so if they get CC'd or jumped on, there is not much you can do. Thresh struggles with Kog'Maw and Twitch, as you are looking to make plays mid-game and they want to control team fighting during that time. You synergize very well with Corki and Ezreal, if you can communicate with them to play the way you want them to. I would not recommend laning with them if you're not confident in your AD player. Thresh also works with most mage bot lanes, as he offers peel and all potential. Thresh has a very particular playstyle as a pick peel support. In lane, Thresh should start Q if you feel you can land a hook and kill the enemy bot lane, level 1, or Flay to help push the wave and force the early level 2 spike. If you get level 2 first, you should try and kill the enemy bot lane, as Thresh has an insane power spike level 2. Once you've passed your level 2 spike, you can either walk around the minion wave and threaten to hook the enemy AD or support, or you can hang back and let your AD walk up if you're worried about being ganked, as you can simply lantern them away from the enemy jungler. When you're playing Thresh, your lane is a free gank for your jungler, as you can easily lantern them in for a gank from Tribush if you're blue side, or your Tribush or Longbush if you're red side. This will almost guarantee the enemy will be off guard and give you kills or take their summons. Thresh can use W to grant vision to avoid face checking when trying to ward. He excels in skirmishes, as you can hook enemies in drawn out fights and immediately lantern people over walls if they get caught or you want to make a fight uneven in numbers. When trying to take Dragon as Thresh, you want to try center a fight around you. This means that often when vision lines are drawn, if you land a hook, don't always take it, as often just the drag from your hook will be enough to get the pick. Also remember to lantern when your jungler wants to try steal, as this will grant vision on the objective and give them a way out after the steal. Thresh can easily invade with his jungler, as he can hook and lantern over walls, meaning if you find the enemy jungler, killing them should be very easy. Also, if you get caught out when invading, you can hook jungle camps to give yourself an unexpected escape route. Thresh does very well at roaming for the same reasons as when he invades. Your hook and lantern make it easy to gank mid or counter gank. Also remember to be stealthy when ganking mid, because if you're not spotted, one mid laner will expect Thresh to be ganking them. In team fights, you want to be the middle line of your team, This means you can CC the enemy front line trying to get to your back line, and still be ready to pick an enemy carry out of position. Thresh can easily get a pick when sieging, if he sits in Fog of War with Control Ward and hooks enemies trying to wave clear. Try to aim for the enemy carries to close out the game.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Thanks also to Techie for agreeing to collaborate with me, as well as for Cody for another well-edited guide. Don't forget to leave comments below, since feedback from you is what keeps me going. See you next time!